Hey everyone, how's it going? It's your girl Vicky and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can probably already tell by the title of this video, this is the tattoo slash piercing tag. If you guys have watched tattoo videos or piercing videos before, I'm sure you probably heard this, so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. But if you guys do not like tattoos or piercings, click out of the video. There's no purpose in wasting 10 to 15 minutes of your life watching this video if you don't like them. If you don't like tattoos, you don't like piercings, why waste that time watching a video about them? Why comment below saying, oh, you're a bad person because you have tattoos? So any negative thing you guys are probably going to say about tattoos, there's a 99.99% chance that I've already heard it. So if you don't like him or piercings, don't watch the video. Like, why waste your time and your effort to write a comment or to watch the video? Why? It blows my mind that people waste their time like that. Like, why? If you don't like a video, leave. You know, I don't judge somebody for not having tattoos, just like they shouldn't judge me for having tattoos. You know, I don't judge somebody for their favorite color being orange when my favorite color is red, and I'm not the biggest fan of orange. Like, I don't judge people for what they like and what they believe in, just like people shouldn't judge me or anybody else who has tattoos and piercings. Like, it's 2017, I don't even know why I have to be saying this, but whatever. With that being said, if you have tattoos and you like tattoos and piercings, you should so keep watching this video. Let's get going. I am going to start with my piercings, and I'm going to go in the order I got them, and then I'm going to move on to my tattoos and do the same thing. I'm gonna try to remember to tell you guys the pain level and the healing process of it. So my first piercings I ever got were my first earlobe holes. I had them on both sides. I got them when I was like 6 to 9 months old. I'm not too sure. I can't remember what my mom said. I can't tell you the pain level or the healing process for that because I was a baby, but I can tell you that the piercer pierced my cheek. I'm not sure which cheek, but she definitely pierced it. I don't know if I turned. I don't know if she was nervous because I was crying or what was going on. I don't know, but I know she pierced my cheek. And then the second piercing that I got were my second earlobe holes. Again, they're just on both sides. I got those again right after my first ones healed when I was a baby. I probably wasn't even a year old, maybe just turned a year. Can't tell you the pain level or healing process for that. Moving on to my next piercing I got was my cartilage piercing. You guys can see it there. I guess the pain level for that I think was like a 1 or a 2. I mean, it's been a long time since I got a pierce. I was like 12. The next piercing that I got is actually a retired piercing, and it was my nose piercing. I am in school to be a nurse, and right now I work as a nurse's aide, and you're technically not supposed to have any facial piercings, but I still had mine for almost 8 months, but then it fell out at work actually one day, and I couldn't find it, so I just kept like pushing my cartilage earring in my nose in and out, and then I would just like, because it didn't overheal, it never really overhealed. I know I could take it out for like at least 5 or 6 hours and I could still put it back in. That's probably the longest I've gone without having a nose piercing in. But the healing process for it was not bad at all. The pain level was barely a 1. I mean, it did not hurt like at all for me. I've heard some people say their nose piercings like were the worst piercing that they've ever gotten, which I don't know if, you know, they're just more afraid of needles than I am, but I have a pretty high pain tolerance. Not a lot gets to me. My pain scale is probably going to be different than most or others. Just keep that in mind when I'm saying this. If the initial piercing part didn't hurt, I would say just a 0, but that was the only part that hurt, was when she initially like stuck the needle in there and then pushed the jewelry through. After that, it was fine. It was just sort of numb. Like I said, it is retired now, so do I miss it? There's some days I miss it, but not really. Even if I want it back, I'll just get it pierced again. My next piercing I got wrong side, was my tragus piercing. The healing process for it was not bad at all, really. There was only one time, probably about actually 3 months after I had it, it actually like flared up and got inflamed and stuff, to the point where I almost took it out because it hurt so bad, and I don't know why, it just did. I almost took it out, and me and my sister tried to take it out. Luckily, like when they pierce it, they screw the jewel on so tight that like you're not supposed to be able to get it off, because we couldn't get it off even with like a pair of pliers. So if we could have gotten it off, I would not have it today. So I'm happy we did not get it off. Again, I never had a problem sleeping on it. Pain level for that was probably a 2. It did hurt a good bit. It didn't pop. A lot of people said like you're gonna hear a popping noise. I never heard a popping noise. Mine never really drained or oozed or pussed or anything like that, which like that's another big thing that I heard. Then my next piercing I got was my 3rd earlobe holes. I got them on both sides. Pain level for that was like a 1. I mean, it didn't really hurt. It was kind of hurt initially for like the first 30 minutes. Healing process, these ones surprisingly were one of my harder ones to heal, but I think it's because of where I worked. I worked at a restaurant at the time, and I did can you speak English? I did takeout orders, so I always had like a phone to my ear, and I would like switch off because I'd get real irritated. Never really had a problem sleeping on them though. It's like sleeping on a certain side, just like I always had the phone up to my ear. I got 2 thumbs up. And the next piercing I had was, I got my rook pierced. So this piercing was the most painful piercing I have, and actually it was more painful than any of my tattoos. It hurt pretty good. I'd say a good 3, 4 on the scale of 5 there. And this one definitely gave me complications. So I really do think my body was rejecting it, which is sad because it was my favorite piercing that I had. Yeah, my body just did not like that. So ultimately I took it out. That is all my piercings that I have, including my retired ones. Let's move into the tattoos. So my first tattoo I ever got is on my wrist. So I've had this for 4 years now, and it is the one on my wrist. I will insert a close-up of it here. So this says just breathe. It is like facing down so other people can read it. It says just breathe with a cross next to it. I'll give you a short and sweet explanation of it. So I had really bad anxiety growing up. I mean, from preschool until I was 16, like really bad. I missed 60-70 days of school a year. The only reason I passed was because my mom actually got my homework every day I missed, and I did my homework. But when I was 16, I became homeschooled, and I kind of learned how to control it more, I think because I was in my own environment. But I mean, I wouldn't go anywhere, I wouldn't do anything. Like, I mean, I was just always at home. I never wanted to leave. My anxiety was always high. I was always crying. And I remember sometimes it would get really bad to the point where I wasn't breathing. I would like fall to my knees and almost pass out because I wasn't breathing. I would hyperventilate. And one thing that calmed me down was my mom always grabbed my hands and she's like, Vicky, like, just breathe. You can do this. Just breathe. Because as simple as it sounds, like, breathing is something you do automatically, but when you're in that type of situation, you're freaking out and you really kind of can't control it until you learn how to control it. But you either forget to breathe because you're freaking out or you're hyperventilating. So it is such a huge thing to breathe when you're having an anxiety attack. Yeah, so that's the short and sweet version of it. I wanted to get it on my wrist where I could see it because I know that I'm not going to be around my mom all my life. That was longer than I wanted it to be, but oh well. The cross there isn't really for like religious purposes. It's for like, oh, you know, have faith in yourself. Okay, pain level for that was actually probably like my most painful tattoo that I got. I don't know if it was just because it was my first tattoo and I just didn't know what to expect, or if it's because it was on my wrist. But on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd say it was a good 3. It burned more than anything. Healing process for it was fine. It took about 2.5 weeks to heal. Yeah, never really had a problem. It itched really bad though. That was probably my one that itched the most out of all my tattoos, was my wrist. So that's that. So my second tattoo is on my ribs. It is for my grandpa, and it is his birth year in Roman numerals, which is MCMXLII, with an arrow below it because he used to hunt, and I always liked the look of arrows, but I wanted something to symbolize him. Here, I will show it to you. The pain level for that was probably like a 1. I really didn't think it hurt all that bad. It actually was fairly simple and painless. It was just line work, so it wasn't bad. Healing process, this is probably one of my tattoos that healed up the quickest. It probably healed up within like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Never had a problem with it. I could sleep on it, but I never did just because like that's not good for it. My next tattoo is my mandala right here. Pain level for that surprisingly wasn't all that bad. It was like a 1, maybe a 2, and the most painful parts, which I thought shading would hurt a lot more than what it does, but I actually love shading. Like, I don't think shading hurts, and I don't know if that makes me sound like a psychopath, which I mean it probably does, but I love shading. Like, it doesn't hurt to me really at all, and like the sound of the gun is so therapeutic to me. I don't know why, but it is, and I probably am crazy, so oh well. This one was probably like my one tattoo that healed really weird. It probably took a good 3 weeks, if not more, to heal. I think it's because I got it done like in the winter, so I think the cold air had a like effect on it. It was always just seemed like it was always like wet, like it wouldn't dry all the way, so I feel like that had a big part in it. Yeah, but never really hurt, never really itched even, just here and there. The next tattoo that I got is my rose right here. I got my rose for my mom. It's my mom's favorite flower, and I wanted something. I always told her, I said, I'm gonna get a tattoo for you. Like, I've always wanted one for her, because the Just Breathe one was like kind of for me and my mom, but I wanted one just for my mom, so I got a rose because that's her favorite flower, and that's like all she ever wants as a gift. Like, if you ask her what she wants, oh, get me flowers and chocolate or stuff like that. And so I got a rose. Pain level for it was a 1, honestly. This was like one of my least painful tattoos. A lot of people say like up towards the elbow it hurts, but I did not think it did. Healing process was quick, probably 2 weeks. My next tattoo that I got was this one on my arm, but I made the sun look like a flower because I didn't want just like a traditional sun and moon on me. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit different, so I had him draw up this. Well, I mean, I just sent him some pictures and he kind of did his own thing, and I absolutely love it. But there is the moon right there. Scale of 1 to 5, probably a 2, 3. Right here, these 2 petals, this one and this one, were the 2 that hurt the most. That would be where it was a 3. Healed up nicely, never had a problem with it. It's stayed pretty swollen for a little bit, so that's like a complaint I could say about it. And then my next tattoos, I actually got all 3 of them at the same time. I got this King of Hearts on my wrist. It's like in line with my wrist, but like when I move my wrist it looks like it's all funky, but it's in line with it. It's a King of Hearts for my grandpa. I got it because I wanted another tattoo for him. He was like my best friend and I miss him dearly, and I was trying to decide what I wanted, and my one friend was like, well, what did you guys do together? I'm like, we played dominoes and cards, and she's like, well, get dominoes on you. I'm like, I really don't want dominoes on me. She's like, well, get a deck of cards on you. I'm like, I don't want a deck of cards. And she's like, oh, I got it, get a King of Hearts because he's the king of your heart. And I was like, oh, you got it, you got it. The pain level for it was like a 1. It did not take long at all because the K is just line work, but then the heart was shading. Healed fine, healed within like a week and a half. The other 2 tattoos I got that day I actually got with my sister. They're matching tattoos, and they are an anchor and a wheel ship. My family, especially me and my sister, have always loved water. I mean, we've always had pools growing up. We were on the swim team. One of our favorite things to do in the summer was go to the ocean. We have a boat that we like to go out on and tube and fish, and so it's just a big part of our life and one of our favorite things to do together. So we decided to get matching anchors and wheels. And I made like a little saying up. I said, life may steer, get it for the wheel. us in different directions, but you'll always be my anchor. How cute, I know. Let me show you them. It's gonna be hard, but I'll insert a close-up of them now. Scale of 1 to 5, like a 1, like not even that probably. When he first started tattooing, I literally looked at my sister and I was like, is he even tattooing? Like, I did not feel it, like, at all. The only reason I knew he was tattooing is because I heard the gun, but I looked over at her, I'm like, is he tattooing? Like, I can't feel it. The only part that really hurt was like towards the back, towards my heel. That kind of hurt a little bit, so that would be where it was like a 1. Other than that, I mean, it was like easy breezy, didn't hurt. Healing process for them was fine. They never itched. They never really bothered me not to walk, not to wear shoes, nothing like that. They were pretty easy, simple tattoos. My last tattoo that I got, technically this is 1 tattoo, but technically you can count it as 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count it as 1, but some people count it as 5. It is just my family zodiac signs. The first one and the last one are the sign for Libras. They're my mom and my dad's. My mom and my dad are a week and a year apart exactly. My mom is a year and a week older than my dad, so I put her first just because she's older, and I wanted my dad to be on the other side to like enclose the kids. So my mom, and this is my sister's, a Leo, mine, a Taurus, and then my brother is a Sagittarius, and then like I said, my dad. Yeah, these were pretty quick, painless. I'd say it was a 1. I know, like, people are probably like expecting me to say that my tattoos hurt a lot more, but like I said, I do have a pretty high pain tolerance. I don't really think they hurt. The healing process was easy, healed up pretty quick. He did say that there would be white spots in them, and I'm not sure if you guys can tell in the close-ups, but there were some white spots in them. He said that he'll just murder them when it made me laugh when he said that. He's like, oh, if there's any white spots in them, I'll just murder them when they come back. So he'll probably touch those up when I go back next. And yeah, those are all my tattoos that I have. All of them have a meaning to me except my mandala. I just wanted it, and you know, why not? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if it was kind of all over the place and really long. Still getting used to like filming. Plus I like to ramble. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys would like to see like a healing, like how I heal my tattoos, how I take care of them, and all that kind of stuff, like to protect them from the sun, or just like in general, anything that has to do with the healing process and like how to take care of them after, you guys should comment below if you guys want to see that. Also, don't forget to subscribe. This is either my first or second video on my channel, so I need people. I need some friends. Come be my friends. Yeah. So, like the video. Comment below if you guys would like to see that. Also, comment below how many tattoos you guys have. I have 9, I believe. So you guys should let me know how many tattoos and piercings you have below. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.